Hey guys, how are you doing tonight? Here we are on Tuesday as always, and this week is a holiday in the United States, so happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Those of you that are celebrating, those of you that aren't, that's okay too. Our practice this week does have tones of gratitude within it, but you don't have to celebrate Thanksgiving in order to whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not. A practice of gratitude is beneficial to everybody. I want to start out by just like giving a little disclaimer because last couple weeks feel like they've seemed a little bit wonky. I've started a new job and I've had some like pretty major changes going on here just with the routine and things like that. So by 8 o'clock at night, kind of like a little tired by the end of the day. Absolutely still love being here, and it's just a time of transition. So if things seem a little bit off or anything like that, I just want to ask for a little grace, a little forgiveness, and yeah, just bear with me through this time of transition is I guess what I'm asking for. So with that being said, how about our intention, huh? A practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. A practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. So if this is the first time you've heard the intention, I'd like you to stop and think about that for just a moment and see what comes to mind when you hear those words. A practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. November, and especially this week, is a time, within the United States of looking at the things that we're thankful for and looking at the gratitude practices that we have. If you haven't seen the gratitude posts and prompts that are on the Meditative Astrology Facebook and Instagram page, check those out because I'm really excited about that this week. Monday, so yesterday and today in the morning, have shared two different gratitude thought prompts or mindfulness prompts, just things for you to consider and kind of contemplate a little bit. So each day this week we will post something new in the morning, just something for you to kind of play with, and that's been really cool and really fun for myself. So hopefully you enjoy that as well. So this week when I was looking at the intention and what we were gonna be working with here, I wanted to bring gratitude and I wanted to bring thankfulness of some kind into the practice for today, right? I knew that I wanted that part brought into it, but as always, this ties into the astrology, right? Our meditation here always ties into the energies that are going on. So I didn't want to just throw a gratitude practice into this meditation that that didn't have some validity in the stars behind it, that didn't have some confirmation in the sky behind it. I do want to say that if you are looking for a more general gratitude practice, meditation and conversation, this past Sunday on, excuse me, I hosted a Level Up meditation with Kristen Lawhead, a friend of mine, over on the Fun Astrology podcast YouTube page. There's also a Facebook group that you can get to it from, but everybody can get to it from the Fun Astrology podcast Facebook page. If you go to the live tab and you go every Sunday night, there's a really lovely group healing session that happens, and on the third Sunday Kristen and I host that together. And this past week we talked a lot about gratitude. People brought in their own practices and suggestions, and it was just a really great conversation. So if you're looking for something a little deeper, I'm going to point you towards the Fun Astrology podcast YouTube channel and check that out and see what you think of that. So the aspects that we're looking at here this week, I see in the comments, I give thanks for astrology. Oh my gosh, every single day am I thankful for the guidance in the sky and in the stars around us. Every day. So transits that we were looking at this week. So last week we talked about the Sun-Mars conjunction and that new cycle that was starting for Mars. We also talked about how that energy would be active all of last week and all of this week. So the Sun and Mars are still traveling together. So you still have that initiating energy, that new Sun-Mars cycle beginning, however that is playing out in your life. It might be kind of extending a little bit, or it might be kind of like ramping up because it's been around for a little while. So we still have that to kind of keep in mind. But the Sun and Mars, as they are traveling together, at the end of this week, they're going to be just 1 to 2 degrees away from each other. So both the Sun and Mars are both moving into the sign of Sagittarius. And as they move into Sagittarius, they're going to square Saturn. Saturn is sitting at 0 degrees of Pisces. So on Wednesday, tomorrow, the Sun will move into the sign of Sagittarius. So happy birthday, happy solar return to all of you Sagittarian suns out there. And as it does, it's going to make a square with Saturn. On Friday, so the day after Thanksgiving, 2 days after the Sun moves into Sagittarius, Mars is going to move into Sagittarius. So that is going to square the Sun as well. Sorry, square Saturn as well. Right before the sign change, so like today and yesterday, the 2 planets simultaneously are coming into a sextile with Pluto. So first this week we have the Sun coming into a sextile with Pluto, then Mars immediately moves into the sextile with Pluto. Being that the Sun and Mars are so close together, you can really say that all the transits are these transits are active together, and they kind of coexist together and are happening really kind of wrapped up together. So it's not like on Monday, we have the Sun sextiling Pluto energy only. On Tuesday, we have the Mars sextiling Pluto energy only. It's all kind of a little bit intermingled with how closely this all is. Plus, we can still consider Sun and Mars in a conjunction here. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, that this energy is all kind of together through the whole week. So after they move through that sextile with Pluto, then they come into that square with Saturn as they move into Sagittarius, as they move into a new sign. So we're coming out of Scorpio season. Yay, I'm sure everybody's probably ready for that, because not only are we coming out of Scorpio season, but we're also coming out of South Node in Scorpio, eclipses, and wrapping up of all of that. So we can start to move away from some of that heavier scorpionic type stuff that might be playing out for, is playing out for quite a people. But yeah, moving on to Sagittarius here. So looking at our intention, a practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. So practice of gratitude, that's what we want to bring to mind, not only this week, but every day and every week of the year. But when we have that practice of gratitude, it allows us to transform Pluto and configure Saturn, your life, okay? The Sun and Mars together. We talked last week about them being the powerhouses of energy, right? When I think of high energy and like high extroverted energy, I think of the Sun and I think of Mars, like in your face type energy. That's the Sun and Mars there. So together, the Sun, often we can look at the Sun as representing like our solar body. So we're looking at the eternal part of us that lives forever. So we typically call that something like our soul or solar body. So if the Sun represents our soul, and our soul is a part of this life, then I think we can look at the Sun and Mars together as taking some sort of like life action here in this circumstance, okay? So we're bringing this week a practice of gratitude, allowing us to transform with Pluto and configure with Saturn, my life, the Sun. I feel like it almost quite literally works out that way, where I wanted to bring in a practice of gratitude this week, but I wanted to make it fit with the astrology here. And, when I say make it fit with the astrology, it's not that I'm trying to, it almost sounds to me as I say that I'm trying to like, tweak the astrology or spin it to fit my own narrative and what I want it to do. But I don't see it that way. I see I see the archetypes of the planets and the aspects to be much broader than that. And, you know, I really feel like they're accessible and applicable in many, many different ways. If we had different planets, then the second half of the intention would probably be a bit different. So we'd be talking about a practice of gratitude in another way. You know, maybe if it was Venus, then maybe we'd be talking about some sort of harmonizing, you know, gratitude and harmonizing, or leveling and balancing, or something like that. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So Pluto is the transformer, right? Pluto brings things up from the depths that are trying to be stuffed down, and brings forward this transformative energy. So when the Sun and Mars come into a sextile, a favorable aspect, a Venusian flavored aspect, so like a harmonizing aspect with Pluto, it has the possibility to make us feel like, although the Sun and Mars may require us to work and put forth a lot of effort, it may feel that like the work and the effort is worth the transformation that's coming from it, right? It might be one of those things like, what I'm going to gain out of this is worth the effort that I'm putting in. So that gives you that extra, like, that extra grit, or that extra push to do what it is where you may before have kind of like teetered back and forth a little bit. But it's a very harmonizing aspect, which is nice for Pluto. And then the square to Saturn here. You know, Saturn, we often talk about, I liked this word configure that I applied here, because we often think of Saturn as the limiter, the one that says no, the boundaries, right? The one that stops us in our tracks, with which I'm not saying that's not the case. It's not that. Saturn definitely can be the red tape and you know, the hoops that we have to jump through. But at the same time, in a positive, or you know, like highest expression for Saturn helps us organize. Saturn helps us structurize and put things together. Saturn is an archetypal theme, can be referred to as the father, as well as the sun can too. And you know, you think of the father like a masculine figure that kind of like helps keep order, right? Like kind of helps keep law and order a little bit. Kind of helps keep the schedule and keep things going. Doesn't have to be like a literal father, although sometimes it can be. Sometimes the Sun and Saturn things can be literal father-related type things. I'm looking at Saturn here as the one that helps us configure things, the one that helps us organize and arrange things. So when I'm thinking of the gratitude practice, and I've been contemplating this a lot within the last week, especially with the meditation that I was a part of on Sunday, about all of the different benefits that come to us through just having gratitude and just being thankful for things, and expressing that thankfulness, however it is that you're able to do that. And it really feels, I don't know, it really feels like when we are thankful for what we have and what's coming our way, and you know, we have some contentment in what we have rather than trying to reach for something else, and just kind of have this trust and not like pushing ourselves too far, that things just kind of have a way of falling together sometimes. A phrase that I've heard several times in the last few weeks is, it always works out. I've heard multiple times, I've never seen it not work out. And in a way, I feel like that's kind of the message here with Saturn, or it could be the message here with Saturn. We could look at Saturn as the one that helps us configure our lives and structurize our life. So like the visual I had in my head here was like a bunch of little pieces of something kind of like coming together. I don't know, maybe like I used to play Tetris a lot when I was a kid. So like all these little teeny blocks and pieces starting to come together and layer up and creating like this solid foundation. I don't know, are you following me here a little bit? Hopefully this is making sense. But I think there's energy of I know there's energy of transformation and structuralizing and organizing and arranging and configuring things through Saturn and Pluto here. So I feel like if we're going to focus on gratitude, and we have these energies around us, then this is how we're able to bring it about. Because a big part of following the astrology and following the transits and the energies that are around us in whatever way that we do, is just having an awareness. It doesn't mean that we're controlling. It doesn't mean that we're trying to change things. It means that we have an awareness of what is around us and who is around us, right? Like, you're gonna behave differently if you're around your best friend compared to maybe your grandfather. Maybe not. Maybe you'll act exactly the same way, but most of us might act a little bit differently around a coworker than we would, say, our spouse or our parent or something like that, right? So you just kind of know how to act or know how to respond, or you're a little bit prepared for the energies or, you know, the guests that you're going to be surrounded by, type of thing. So this week, practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. With this square from Sagittarius from the Sun and Mars in Sagittarius to Saturn, which is in the sign of Pisces, I think it's worth noting that the square comes from both of the Jupiter-ruled signs. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter here. So, you know, with both Pisces and Sagittarius both being ruled by Jupiter, the way that Jupiter expands things, we talk a lot about how Jupiter blows up what it touches and expands what it touches, right? The way that Jupiter expands things is, in my mind, in my opinion, the same way that gratitude turns into blessings and abundance. I firmly believe that through appreciation, through wisdom, through understanding, these are Jupiterian type qualities. These are also the type of qualities that I feel come about with when we're thankful for things and we show gratitude for the things that are around us. So I feel that the energies, although it's a square, although it's the Sun and Saturn, although it very much could be a limiting factor that stops you in your tracks or makes you feel like you're not able to do what it is that you want to do or something like that, that is all very possible. Or to have some sort of power struggle, or, you know, maybe you just don't have a good day, or something like that, or you just don't feel like there's enough hours in the day. Lots of people are doing lots of cooking this week in the United States, so maybe you just feel like you just can't quite get on top of what you're trying to do, or something like that, something a little bit frustrating. But at the same time, we have the Jupiterian energy. So we have this appreciation, we have this wisdom, we have this understanding, we have this abundance, and we have this luck that comes along with it, right? So for me, when I am in a space of gratitude, when I'm in a place of thankfulness, it seems like more things to be thankful for come my way. It seems like abundances and blessings come my way. And I think part of that is trust. I think part of that is faith. And I think part of that is the acknowledgement. So, you know, it's no different than saying thank you just to a person, right? That's a gratitude practice too. When somebody does something for you and you say thank you to them and you acknowledge your appreciation for what they did, that person is more likely to do more things for you or do that thing for you again, right? Or help you out in another way because they feel appreciated. I feel like that is the way that gratitude works all the way around. Yes, if you trust the universe, if you trust the universe and just have faith, as hard as that is, I believe me, I know it's really hard to do that all the time. I try really hard not to, no rose-colored glasses around here, right? Try to be super realistic while also being positive and uplifting at the same time. So I feel like with this square being ruled on both ends by Jupiter, both in Pisces and in Sagittarius, I feel like there's an ability to kind of have a wider perspective a little bit, and broadening our perspective may make it a little easier to have some gratitude or be thankful for a situation. I think, personally, again, like I said, if you want a full gratitude practice conversation, go over to Fun Astrology Podcast and check out the live stream from this past Sunday. But I feel like personally in my own life, I am thankful for all of the events of my life. I'm thankful for the hard things. I'm thankful for the good things. I might not be thankful for the hard things in the moment that they're happening, but afterwards, they seem like things that need to come about, or there's a reason, or I can see why those things happen. So as hard as it can be, being thankful for all experiences and whatever it is that you have pulled out of that to take forward, whatever you've learned. And I feel like the two signs speak to that as well here a little bit. So we have two planets moving into Sagittarius, which Sagittarius is generally a considered to be like a forward-thinking sign. Sagittarius is a sign that is always looking for the next light. Okay, I think of oh my gosh, I keep trying to say Saturn here. I'm sorry. I told you it's been a couple weeks. Sagittarius is always reaching for that next light, or reaching for the next star that's just beyond the grasp, but has the, it's an optimistic view sometimes of reaching towards that light from a place of darkness, let's say, very broadly speaking. So I feel like if we're thinking about gratitude and thankfulness, the Sagittarian energy allows us to be thankful for what is going to come our way, being thankful for the future in a way, being thankful for our blessings before they happen, because for me that is my number one manifestation rule, is being thankful for things before they are physically in your grasp, because part of manifestation for me, or a big component of it, this was drilled into my head by my mom, and I thank her for that, is that if you are manifesting something into your life, you need to act, walk, and talk like that thing is already yours. So if you're thinking like it's already yours, how can you not be thankful and grateful for that thing, right? So Sagittarius here being this optimistic, forward-thinking sign, I feel that a lot brings in a little energy that allows us to be thankful for the future, for the forward-thinking things. Also maybe have a positive view of, because with Sagittarius, there's this big play between light and dark of emerging out of a lot of darkness and trying to move towards a light type of situation. I think of it as a light post in the dark type situation sometimes. But I feel that is going to allow us to be thankful for the future, where Saturn in the sign of Pisces, a water sign, is very reflective, very pensive, and very much considering all aspects after the fact. So I feel like Sagittarius is allowing us to be thankful for what's to come or what's in the future, and Pisces, the sign of Pisces, where Saturn is sitting, is allowing us to be thankful for the past in a way. Maybe not exactly thankful for the past, but able to see in a reflective way how it needed to play out, or that it turned out the way it's supposed to, something like that. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So yeah, I think this week, practice of gratitude practices and being thankful for things is something that is so important on so many levels. Being thankful for the little things, being thankful for the big things. I have a few different little gratitude practices that I have within my own life, and when I focus on those things, it changes your brain chemistry. It's hard to be sad when you're being grateful for things, right? If you're in a place of gratitude and a place of thankfulness, how can you have a negative emotion associated with that? I don't know. I guess maybe you could, but it's a different type of emotion. It's not just a straight up negative, not feel good type emotion in my mind. So I think it's important that we practice gratitude. I think just as we teach our kids that it's important to say please and thank you, it's important to say please and thank you on many levels. It's important to say please and thank you to the universe for all of the blessings and abundances and the lessons that are being provided. It's important to say thank you to your loved ones. It's important to say thank you to yourself when you do something good for yourself, you know. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to be thankful. So that's not what's up for discussion here. What's up for discussion within this meditation is how we're going to go about that. And this week, the energy to transform and configure our lives are definitely within play here. So that's what I want to bring into our meditation for this week. I just want us to spend a few minutes here being thankful for everything. So far this week, the gratitude prompts that have been posted on the social media pages are encouraging you to look at something that is positive about your environment and something that is positive about your health. We could probably all think of negatives about our environment and negatives about our health, but I encourage you to think about something positive, even if there's a huge struggle within one of those situations right now. What are you thankful for with your health really hit close to home today, because I've talked about this before on here. It's been quite a while since I've had to ask for prayers, but I've talked before on here about the health issues that my mom has had, and have asked for love and prayers and healing energy sent towards her here. And on this day that I post about being thankful for health, my mom found herself in the emergency room with some very scary symptoms that have been going on and have escalated quite a bit. So although the health issues are tremendous and very, very difficult, I'm thankful that she's still here. I'm thankful for her health and the fact that she's still alive and her heart is still beating and, doing fairly well, considering absolutely everything else that's going on here. So with that being said, if anybody, I don't know, we're going to spend a couple minutes, if you don't mind, at the end of this, just sending my mom a little bit of love and a little prayers, because she's really having a really hard time of it right now. Her health has been quite a thing. If you saw her packed 6th house on her chart, you would understand completely. So yeah, it's just like, when we're being thankful and grateful for things, it doesn't mean that like everything is great, everything is roses, right? Because I felt it to be very ironic that I posted the thing about health today, and then here I am considering health of a very close family member here today. So I just thought that was a kind of like a personal little message from somewhere, that you can still be grateful for things even when things are hard, even when things are rough, right? Something like that. Yeah. So thank you for the prayers. I appreciate that. Oh, yes. Yeah, so that's what I want to bring into our meditation tonight is, yes, a practice of gratitude, but how we can use gratitude to transform and configure our lives. When we are grateful for things, I feel like our life and our mind are instantly transformed, because we're putting ourselves in a higher vibration, a higher level of energy in some way, shape, or form. Even if you feel like your level of energy was like, I don't know, really, really low, like as low as it can possibly be or something like that, and you just come up, then you start having some sort of gratitude practice and you come up just one level. So like say you're at level 0, say you're at level -50, and then you can make it up to level -45, or you can make it up to an even keel 0, something like that even. Or we can hope, we can move higher. If you're at a very high level of energy and you start having you start being thankful and start practicing gratitude in that moment, you're only going to elevate even higher. There's no ceiling as far as how high your energy can go within this lifetime, within this physical form, in my opinion. I don't think there's a ceiling there. Could be wrong. Don't know for sure. So anyways, gratitude practice tonight. Hopefully this all makes sense, and hopefully you understand how I'm not trying to spin things. I'm not trying to twist words or make things fit with what I want to do this week, but rather so my intention that I brought to the energy this week was gratitude. How can we bring gratitude in this? So I still looked at the chart, I still looked at the transits, and the chart told me that if you practice gratitude, you can transform your life, you can transform your energy, and you can configure your life and your energy to be more of what you feel you consciously want, with the help of the universe. And how amazing is that? My number one thing that I am thankful for is the guidance of the universe, the guidance of God, the guidance of the universal energy that we all came from, the guidance of our Creator, whatever term it is for you, the infinite intelligence that we are all a part of. It's guiding us every single day, and we are a part of it every single day, and we always will be for eternity. And I just absolutely love that. I just absolutely love that. So, all right, let's not ramble on any longer, and let's get moving here, huh? So, a practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. As always, we have our intentional candle here that we will light. We always use a white candle here because white for me is a universal color. It can be blended into anything that you want it to be, anything that you need it to be. Also, white amplifies and sends things out further here, right? So I always like to stick with a white candle here for our meditation. So we're going to light our intentional candle, and as we do, I invite you to focus on the intention. If you feel like saying it out loud, feel free to do so. If you'd like to write it down on a piece of paper so you have it with you, feel free to do that too. So here we go. We light our candle. The flame catches. It's weird. And we see the flame grow. As the flame grows, so does our intention. As the flame grows, so does our energy, so does our love and our connection to the universe. As we come into this practice of gratitude tonight, this practice of thankfulness, I invite you to take a moment to settle into your body and acknowledge where you are at this very moment. Acknowledge your body, how your physical body is feeling. How is your energy level at this very moment? Does it feel on par? Does it feel a little low? Is your energy stable? Or is it shifty? Is it changing up and down frequently? This physical body that you have for this lifetime, although your body is temporary, It is your vessel. It is your carrier in your home for your soul for this lifetime. This physical body is the temple where your soul resides during this incarnation. This body allows us to experience. This body allows us to feel. This body allows us to participate in life. Without this body, your human experience and your human existence would not be possible. Many of us are too harsh on our bodies in so many different ways. Whether it's physically, mentally, or both. Many of us do not have enough appreciation for this physical vessel that you, an eternal soul, is inhibiting. So let's spend some time, spend a moment or two thanking this vessel, this physical body, for being our vehicle for this lifetime. Perhaps you think of how this body serves you well, what it allows you to do, where it allows you to go. Perhaps you consider the physical and physiological features of your body, how efficient your body may work. And even if this physical, material part of you has some difficulties, has some things that are not quite so easy, or in our mind are not quite right or perfect, illness, injury, disabilities, these things can make it very difficult to be thankful for our body and for our vessel. But I encourage you to think of at least one positive thing about your physical body. And chances are, as you start to think of the first, another will come to your mind. Your body, this physical body, is absolutely perfect for the lessons and the tasks that you have set out to participate in, to experience during this lifetime. Absolutely nothing happens by accident. And bring your focus from the outer physical level more inward. Focusing on your breath for just a moment, feeling how the air enters and escapes your lungs, moving back and forth, ebbing and flowing, stabilizing and balancing. This breath of yours, oh, there is so much to be thankful for within your breath. Our breath is our connection to slowing down, to connect with our soul, and connecting with the universal energies that are around us. Your breath is what allows you to come back to this space of contemplation and meditation at almost any time and almost any place. This breath can be exciting or calming. It can be fulfilling and it can be tiring. Your breath brings in fresh oxygen molecules into your body on the inhale, and on the exhale, your respirations releases waste products from your body into the air. CO2 and other waste products released from your body leveling and balancing the exchange of gases within your body, within your blood, within the system that pulses throughout your whole being. Your breath connects to every inch of your body, although it only physically fills up your lungs. Next, I want you to focus on your environment around you. What within your environment do you have to be thankful for? Do you show gratitude for your environment? What within your environment brings you joy and happiness? What within your environment brings you peace and a sense of calmness? Or where there is discontent or uncomfortableness within your environment? What is that teaching you? What are you learning from that? If you don't have the answer to that question right now, that is okay. Moments for contemplation. As we show gratitude and thankfulness for even the little things. more and more blessings come our way the more time we spend in contemplation. A practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. Now I want you to consider your daily routine, whatever that means for you. Work, school, family, duties. What within your daily routine are you thankful for? No matter where we're at, no matter how difficult it is to find something to be thankful for, I encourage you to look for a small silver lining. When you find that lining and you focus on it, and you give it love and attention and appreciation, when you are grateful and show gratitude towards that silver lining, that little teeny seam, you see it start to open and expand. You see what was a little silver seam in the fabric of existence widening and opening before your eyes, turning into your own little pocket of abundance, your own little pocket of Jupiterian wisdom, and flat out benefit for the appreciation you're showing. Next, I want you to consider something a little less pleasant that you are now thankful for. Be easy on yourself with this one. What is something that you've experienced in the past, something that you've been through, something that you've had to be a part of that wasn't easy, something that was difficult and required something of you? But now on the other side of that, now your perspective has widened and you can see why that was there, why that was put in your path, in your life. Now, if we take all of these little things that we are thankful for, all these little acknowledgments that we've made, and then put them together before you in your mind's eye, and see all these wonderful things that you have to be thankful for. Thank you, universe. Thank you for guiding us down the absolute perfect path that we are meant to be on at this exact moment. The place that our souls have yearned to experience, wanted to be a part of for one way or another. And as you see all of your gratitudes in front of you, I want you to visualize them moving up towards the sky. As you look up into the sky, you notice the sun directly overhead, and you feel your gratitudes moving up towards the sun. You watch them move up higher and higher until they disappear within the gaze of the sun. The bright light takes over and envelopes your thankfulness. Here within the energy of the sun, the eternal, infinite intelligence that surrounds us at all times is now preserving your statements of gratitude for eternity. And as you look up at the sun, you see how the rays and the light of the sun extends beyond the actual placement of the sun. And the rays are so bright and reach so far out. This is exactly how our gratitudes and our thankfulness grows into blessings and abundance. It starts in the center. Starts with us with a statement, the bold statement of gratitude. And as it pans out, and the rays stretch in many different directions, going as far as the eye can see. A practice of gratitude allows me to transform and configure my life. When we come from a place of gratitude, we're also coming from a place of mindfulness, a place of conscious awareness, a place of love and positivity. A place of appreciation, yes, but also a place of acceptance. That right there is enough to transform your energy and thus configure your life. So as the sun and Mars come into a square with Saturn, I encourage you to ask yourself, what kind of gratitude can I show towards this transit? What positivity can I pull from this? What structure, what organization, what arranging, what Jupiterian energy, the great benefic and blesser? What can you gift me, Jupiter? And before we close our meditation, I raise my hands up towards the sky, encouraging you to do so if you feel inclined to as well. And as I lift my arms up, I say thank you Thank you. Thank you to the universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, Creator. Thank you to myself. Thank you to my soul for putting me on the exact path I'm meant to be on. Thank you, Creator, for guiding us at all times. Thank you for allowing us free will while also deciding our own fate. Thank you for taking this small little piece of the eternal, infinite energy, plucking it out, or allowing it to be plucked out, and dropped to this earth in the form of Alyssa. Thank you, thank you, thank you for not only all that has been, but all that will be as well. And thank you for being here every Tuesday, or on the replays, or just when you're able to. Thank you for all of you that show up in the comments. Thank you for all of you that follow up outside of here. Thank you, because without you guys coming here, this wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be happening. So we've been doing this for about 1.5 years now, and I just love it. No matter, even on the days where it's difficult to get to this space, but then once we get to this space, it's just like, so this week, gratitude, thankfulness. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. If you are not, for whatever reason, my love is with you. Those of you that have difficulties during the holidays for one reason or another, I see you and I acknowledge you, and know that not all situations are happy and wonderful, and not everybody has a picture perfect holiday season. Holidays can be difficult for many people for many different reasons, and that's completely valid. So I just like to put that out there, because we are all having different experiences, but as the meditation told us, it's the perfect experience for us, right? Yeah, easy for me to say, I know, but that's what it is. So I hope you all have a great week. I would like to spend just a moment, if anybody wants to drop off, that's cool, that's great, I totally understand, but my mom is really having some serious health issues. You know, my mom is a great person, I love her to death, and she's my mom, right? But she has some serious health issues that need to be addressed, and need to be taken care of, and need to be resolved permanently. So I would like to just spend a moment. You know, she's suffering greatly at this very moment during the live stream on Tuesday night, November 21st. So I would like to just take a few minutes with anybody that's willing to stick around and just send some loving, healing energy towards my mom, towards Cindy. Her name is Cindy Herndon. And yeah, if anybody wants to join me in that, I would be forever grateful. If you need to drop off beforehand, I totally understand that too. So just going to spend a couple moments in a moment in silence, a moment in conversation, of talking, things like that. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to start with a nice deep breath. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And because it feels right to do so here, we're going to bring in a little energy through the vibrations of the sound Om. Feel free to join me. Feel free to listen, whatever suits your comfort. Dear Father, Mother God, we come to you tonight after a practice of gratitude, after a practice of acknowledging all that there is to be grateful for. We come together in this moment, lifting up an individual whose path and whose life has brought her to a point of great physical struggle within her own physical body. Please surround my mom, Cindy, with the most beautiful, wonderful, healing and comforting white light available. We ask for guidance for her medical team. We ask for insight and empathy to her doctors. We ask for understanding for my mom herself. And all of those that are involved with her situation and her care. And as I picture my mom with a white light shining down upon her, and as others gather with me and join in bringing their energy into this beautiful, healing white light, may she feel comfort and peace for at least a moment. May she feel rested, and may she be allowed the time for healing that is necessary, no matter how long that takes. Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for sticking around. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, thank you for allowing me. I mean, I know nobody really gave me permission, but thank you for allowing me to take a moment for this space to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sending good wishes and love. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the wonderful comments. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and happy gratitude practices to all of you. Again, another great video would be going over to the Fun Astrology podcast and checking out our meditation from this past Sunday. Also, every single Sunday at 8 o'clock, that specific meditation, which is called Level Up, happens, and it's a great community. It's a great. I say community, but I almost dare say family, because there's so many people that keep coming back to this group that, and I consider myself to be lucky to be a part of this group. But I've met friends, and I've physically met people, and I've made connections with people, and there's just some really awesome energy there. So another meditation. If you're looking for something in addition to Tuesday night, there's something available on Sunday night too. And every third Sunday, I host it along with another friend of mine. So that's another option. So yeah. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that are celebrating. Happy Gratitude Week to those who may not be. Happy Gratitude Week to everybody, whether you're celebrating or not, right? And look next Sunday for the intention for next week, and I'll see you here next Tuesday. Again, thank you for having a little bit of, giving me a little bit of grace and a little understanding if things are a little jumbled for a couple weeks. Just going through a transition, but it's a great transition. It's absolutely wonderful. It just in that transitional period right now. So that's that. Have a great night. Have a great week, and reach out if you have anything. Okay. Yeah. Have a great night. Thanks again. Mwah.